Air button. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Blood Boilers. I'm G-Dub, filling in for the world's largest drone, the Big Red Man. I'm here with Mr. Ray from Ferndale, is it? Up in D-Town?
Detroit.
Just a little farther north, we got North. That's how we say it in Georgia. A little further north, we got Mr. Walraven. Up in the city,
Bonjour, mon amis.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
And like I said, I'm G-Dub from Hotlanta. We have a bunch of topics on our Wonder List that I'm probably the only one that looked at them, but that's fine. The first thing I want to talk about, because, you know, this is real important politically, is, have you guys heard of Pelcahol?
I just saw that. I'm so excited.
Isn't this exciting? Of course, the FDA already is trying to ruin all our fun by, you know, investigating it. Like, this is what I'm trying to figure out, you know, Ginkgo biloba has been on the market for like 20 years, and they haven't had to prove that it does a fucking thing. But they want to fuck with Pelcahol, you know? Pelcahol, if you don't know, is a little powdery packet that you can add to any drink to make it alcoholic.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it's awesome.
Genius.
Think of all those festivals you've been in, whether it's the Rib Fest in Bay City or a Music Fest, wherever, and they charge like $10 a fucking drink.
Yeah.
You know? You just slide a few of these in your pocket, you buy a little $2 soda, and bam, you get wasted.
Well, you know what? That's not good for business, so we're going to have to shut that down.
Well, you know, they're worried. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What about the Pelcahol business? Why aren't we worried about them?
Yeah, we need to burn this entire government down on the whole structure. I'm all for jihad, straight up.
But you know, if they get if they buy enough senators, yeah, they'll be okay. I think, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's just like when they tried to ban
alcohol. And how do I find it?
I guess you can make it at home.
You make it?
Well, it's a product that's being made by a small company. Now, Colorado, of all states, has already put a temporary ban on or halt on its sale while they do their own investigation.
Yeah, sure. That'll take 20 years.
First fucking state to legalize weed, but we got to check out this Pelcahol before.
Yeah, right.
You know. But yeah, they're worried about. I think they're worried about kids snorting it.
Whoa, that'd be crazy.
Huh.
I mean, I'd try it once, you know.
Well, I'd probably try it once a day. I'd try it at break and work.
Yeah. Yeah. How great would that be for people that have to blow into a breathalyzer?
Oh,
you know? You just fucking do a line before work, going down.
Oh, you know what you do?
Your PO shows up, you blow 00 every time, but you're sitting there wasted.
You replace the coffee creamer at work in the break room with Pelcahol.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
See, here's something I'm looking at right now: how to make powdered booze at home. Fluffy like confetti and just as licorice as the bottled stuff.
Really?
Yep.
I wonder if that's like, remember that Aftershock shit we used to drink in high school?
Oh God, I thought of that the other day and I almost threw up on the spot.
Oh yeah, all these people. You know, everybody's drinking that, what is that, Fireball whiskey shit now. It's like, man, y'all don't even know that shit.
You know, it is good with like, apple cider. I like it.
Yeah, I'll be honest, dude, I've been on the Cuervo Singe kick, just because it's on clearance, because I think they discontinued it. And this shit's good. It's Jose Cuervo's version of, like, this, the cinnamon hot shit, you know?
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're drinking that Aftershock shit back in the day, and it had little crystals that formed on the inside of the bottle and got you drunk.
Yeah, you didn't know whether or not the crystals were glass or sugar.
Yeah,
I remember Nick and I would break a bottle of that open and try to reach in.
Yeah, we did that a lot.
Eat it, but then we weren't sure whether or not we were eating glass or not.
Yeah.
Until
yeah.
Where we'd stuck a coat hanger in there and just jam the shit out of it.
Or a sharp knife and just cut our hands open.
Cool.
That really happened. Remember Seth fucking cut his hand wide open trying to knock the crystals out of the bottom of the bottle?
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna take an ER, man. Like
That or he was clutching his beer bottle so hard so nobody'd steal it. It broke.
that might have been it. One of the two. I don't know. We were all drunk at the time. But
Hey,
yeah, man.
guys, might I break in with something from Popular Science about this alcohol?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says you can get a maltodextrin cornstarch made from tapioca. It's called Enzorbit M. It's a granular, light, fluffy starch with a micro fuzzy texture, great deal of surface area, so absorbs liquids very well. It's popularly used in high-tech cooking to soak up fats, blah, 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 blah. Step 1, weigh out 100 grams of Enzorbit into a mixing bowl. While whisking steadily, drizzle in high-proof spirit. I use Lemon Heart 151 proof rum. Let's say, after you stirred it in completely, the powder should be dry, but somewhat chunky. If it's still moist, sprinkle in a little more. Sift the dry liquor through a fine sieve to break up the chunks and make a nice powder. If you're making a large batch, you can do it in a blender, and step 3 won't be necessary. Voila, you've got powdered booze.
Very nice.
I mean, honest to God, it's beautiful.
You know, I wonder if they have a patent on the alcohol shit. Like, we could start our own company right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those poor
Problem
high
is,
school kids that are bringing into high school and they're gonna put it in their school
Yeah.
lunches and
Teen pregnancy is going to explode.
Oh. Well, you know, speaking of drunks and drinking and all sorts of ill shit, I found this other article on Vice.com. There's this church in Panama City, Florida, which, you know, is Panama City being like a big spring break hotspot. And turns out they're going to owe back taxes because this the I don't know, the county, the city, they decided they're not really a church. Okay, so this Tabernacle Church is holding mass at night, or prayer sessions at night. They're charging $20 donations at the door, and having like slumber parties, those like paint parties that kids have these days. You know, like the kids do. And yeah, and so there's obviously, they don't serve alcohol there, but there's obviously alcohol present. So yeah, man. But what gives them the right is what I say, man. How can you define what religion is? If your religion is to drink beer out of plastic cups and get young girls expose their nipples and spread body paint everywhere, why can't that be religion?
Well, I think that's called donating to college.
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't it have to become a cult first before it becomes a religion?
Is that how it works?
I don't know. Is it?
I guess traditionally that's kind of how it's worked, huh? But
Maybe.
well, yeah. I mean, how do you define religion? You know, how do you define religious practice? I mean, they have a building that looks like a church. I mean, that's good enough for me.
A lot of these churches out here are turning into restaurants or brothels or.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Just want to break in with a breaking news. You can get Enzorbit, food-grade tapioca maltodextrin, 400 grams, and it only takes 30 to make a nice amount of it from the article for $19.99 plus shipping.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nice.
So,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this.
So
Nice.
if you don't show up next week, you'll know that you have
Yep.
died from it.
Oh, he'll show up. This guy, I've seen him do hella fucking alcohol and drugs in one night, man. He'll be fine.
Yep. It won't be a Led Zeppelin rerun for me. I'll be fine.
So, in the Panama City News Herald, this place has been hosting naked paint parties, slumber party Sundays, and boasting it has the sexiest ladies on the beach. Now, you know, if the Catholics just took this over, they wouldn't be closing all the churches in Bay City, you know?
I think you're right.
If they just had some naked paint parties, serve a little more of that wine, And they could charge $20 at the door. That's fine.
Well,
Yeah.
how are you going to make sure that the police are, they're getting their fair share of business?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Gotta have DUI parties or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, they can pull over all the people leaving St. John's after the paint party when everybody leaves at 6 a.m.
Fair enough.
You know?
Yeah.
That's fine. And they also sell crappy T-shirts with PG-13 rated jokes on them.
Well, now I'm going.
But really, though, I mean, how do you define religion, though? Where's the line?
I mean, are they talking about God, Jesus, and all that, Christian shit, or are they talking about, Jewish shit?
If I want to start an atheist church, that'd be fine, right?
Yeah, but is it a church?
They're calling themselves a church and a religion. It looks like a church. It's shaped like a church.
Is it?
I mean, how do you define a church? I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, who here hasn't seen a pair of teenage titties and thought it brought them closer to God? Like.
That's a valid observation.
So.
Yeah, man.
That's a valid observation.
It's an interesting question.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not sure. I don't know. What are we worshiping here in this case? Tits or booze?
Drunk spring break girls.
Drunk.
Oh well.
So the girls are the girls are the wine in this situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's gonna have more followers than Jesus. Just like the Beatles.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and the pastor of this church has been in legal trouble too. It doesn't say what kind of legal trouble. It says legal trouble.
So this is a
Prostitution.
Catholic. This is a Catholic church?
No, it's a pastor. It's not a priest.
Oh, my bad. I knew that.
Yeah. He's been in legal trouble. Didn't say he, has molested children, because that would be Catholic.
Sure.
So,
Tough world.
So I don't know. I guess being I'm kind of hosting or whatever, we'll jump in from.
What do you guys think about that whole Utah thing where they're trying to pass the firing squad?
Oh yeah. I saw it actually passed, right?
They passed it?
I believe it passed.
What?
Yeah, they're bringing back the firing squad.
Yeah.
That part didn't surprise me. The part that surprised me was it's only been on hiatus for 10 years.
Wow.
Like the last guy that got executed by firing squad was like in 2009.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wasn't it because the electricity or something, or no? They couldn't get the chemical they needed for the lethal injection.
No, well, this is why they're doing it now.
No.
Yeah, this is why they're doing it now because there's a boycott or ban on the lethal injection drug in Europe, so they're running out of the drug. But the last firing squad execution was because the guy requested it.
Well, you know what though?
What do you want on your tombstone?
Yeah.
They're gonna have to get rid of the firing squad in a few years because Obama's gonna fucking ban all the bullets.
Oh please! He took his NRA money like every other presidential candidate for 200 years.
I'm sorry, he's such a fucking clown. He's such a rookie. He's so sad.
I mean,
You know,
what
so sad.
what gun legislation has he tried to put on the table?
Oh, plenty, dude. Plenty.
Like what? What?
Well, I'm not gonna say. I can't say here. List the Senate bill or the House bill. But if you don't think he's tried to put anything up, then you're just retarded.
I haven't heard anything.
Well, I know that.
There's talk that they're trying to ban. Right now, they're trying to ban hunting ammunition.
Well, that's what it was. It's for a rifle.
And that's the thing. Like it's not necessarily going to kill police officers. It's going to kill like hunt game. you know.
Well,
But
it's just a direct shot at the people who own this rifle. It looks like a military rifle, but it's no different than any other firearm. These people are so stupid. They're so blatantly retarded.
what do you guys think about the whole bit about the schools out here? There's like this story that's going around in the local news that's about apparently some guy has gone to an elementary school with a gun.
I saw that.
Like open carry. He said that he has the concealed carry permits or whatever, and somebody questioned him on it, and then police were called, blah blah blah, and then he's fighting. He's standing behind it, saying that it apparently he can have it up to a certain point. And so now out here, the big hubbub is to how do we ban guns from being in schools when there's a concealed carry that allows them to have a gun.
You shouldn't ban guns from schools.
Well,
you
that's
have a few people that have them. That's how you.
No, I get that, and I am. Don't get me wrong. I am all for the Second Amendment. If Zach was here, he'd be throwing a fit right now because he's totally against it. Well, now, let me say this though, that I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
Should have kept drinking.
Yeah, I should have kept drinking, right? So if we are assuming that everybody is carrying a gun in the school, then what do we do in this situation? We check everybody, or do we? What do we do? I mean, you get these schools that are highly violent.
Well, you can ban firearms for anyone except teachers or administrators. If some idiot decides to go into the school and knows that any one of those teachers, if not half of them or all of them, have a firearm, they're not going to do it. I mean, why do people go into firearm-free zones and kill children and kill people? Because there's a fucking sign that says we don't have guns here. Come on in.
There's also a lot of people out there that think that I'm the only one with my gun. I'm the only one in this crowded theater with a gun.
Right.
And then when they pull it out, all of a sudden there's like 5 or 6 other people pointing guns at them.
Oh, you've been to Georgia.
One guy pulls the trigger. And then
Well, I trust the citizens. I trust the people. That's the problem with the government is they don't want to trust the people. They want to take away our rights. If nobody realizes that by now, I know you do, Ray, and Gary to a certain extent. Like this government is not to be trusted, not at the highest levels.
No.
State governments, sure, but federal government, there's a cabal in there that's trying to take away our rights and take this and make it a corporate theocracy. That's all they're trying to do.
I mean, I'm for the Second Amendment, but what? And I've honestly, we've been talking about getting a handgun. I've been thinking about getting the permit. Why not be able to walk around with a gun on my hip? But what are the requirements to get a permit? Do you know? I'm just asking.
Well, pretty much just have a criminal. Yeah, don't take a class and don't have a background. Yep.
Do a background check.
Yep.
And then you get your card, and then you can purchase a gun. Then you have to get it registered, but that's by law. You have to get it registered.
You can purchase one without having a card or anything.
You said that you have to have the background check still, right?
Right, but once you get the background check, they're on the assumption that you're buying a gun. So you can be questioned later on if you didn't register your gun. Because you've already...
I didn't... I bought a pistol, and I didn't register it for 9 months, and nobody ever said a damn thing to me. I got nothing in the mail. I finally sent it in after a while,
Yeah. Yeah, there's conversation out there in the I don't want to say conspiracy because we gotta shy away from calling it conspiracy when we're seeing that a lot of times it's becoming true.
The underbelly.
Alternate news stations are saying that try not to register your guns because
Wow.
the government will come back towards your house, knowing that there's likely a gun in this house, so we're going to go raid this home first. You know what I mean? The whole red coat.
Well, see, and that's why I did register it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down right away. You're gonna shoot through my wall and kill me, but you know what? That's on you. And
You know what,
they're
Scott?
not gonna-
There's so many
they're not
of you
gonna
out
do
there.
it anyways. You know.
There's so many of your kind out there that I just don't need to buy a gun. I know that there's so many people out there like this in my neighborhood alone that if something were to happen, we'll know about it beforehand. And we're cutting and running.
Well, I have a gun so that somebody doesn't come into my house, which is highly unlikely. But it happens. I'm an NRA member, and if they send you a magazine, and a good magazine, and the third page in front is the armed citizen, and there's 2-3 dozen stories about people in the last month or whenever that saved their family, saved themselves from armed intruders. They weren't killing people in the streets. They weren't shooting politicians. They weren't shooting schools. They protected their house and their life. They just don't get it. I mean, I don't understand people who don't get it. It's hard.
I got a question. In Michigan, can you drive around you can't drive with a loaded gun within reach of your car without a permit, can you?
You
Not
can.
a pistol. Not a pistol.
You can have a pistol. Can't be loaded. But you have to.
Yeah.
If you get pulled over, the first thing you have to say to a police officer is, "I have a gun. I have a pistol. It's sitting in my dashboard." You tell them where it's at, right away where it is. That's the first
It's right
thing.
between my thighs, officer.
Yeah. In Georgia, I can have a loaded handgun ready to kill without a concealed permit.
See, and that should be fine. That should be fine.
Well, Scott. That's how it is here in Detroit. People don't register. Oftentimes they're hot guns, and you just have to assume that everybody you are having a road rage incident with is going to have a gun, and they're going to be a crazy man to pull it out on you.
And also in Detroit, if somebody calls the cops on you for having a gun, you have a good solid 45 minutes to drive away before they show up.
More like 45 days.
There's only I heard that last year Detroit would approximately here. I don't know. I'm not going to say that this is exactly true, but there was 5. No, how do I say this? Like the sheriff or the deputy or the higher captain, the one captain for every 5 precincts.
Mm-hmm.
So he ran 5 precincts.
The super captain.
So, he was not the super captain. Like the boss. He's like the manager would be.
No, he's the super captain.
But he's running 5 precincts. They're so understaffed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
absolutely.
They're so understaffed that he also works part-time at Blockbuster guarding the third shift. Movie return vessel.
Hey, just put in some.
I'd set up on at the mall for $9 an hour.
I got some breaking news, gentlemen. I just ordered some.
Exclusive.
Yeah, I just ordered some Insorbit food grade tapioca, so we're all gonna have some powder. $20 worth, mind you. This wasn't a little bit. This is 400 grams, so this is enough for about 110 servings. So
your wife's gonna be like, "What are we gonna do with all this tapioca?"
Hey,
Yeah.
when you make that little powder, make sure to send some to your congressman to try out.
hey, you know what? I might do that.
Don't worry, it's
Yeah.
not anthrax. Just write that on.
Nice and chunky.
Yeah, right.
Just write that on the front of the envelope so you don't get in trouble.
Pour this in your coffee, Dr. Dan.
Here you go, Jim Barsha.
This is Dr. Dan Benishek. I'm hammered. That's good.
Brilliant.
I just read a story. I just read the end of a story here that says, for Palcohol, if you're stranded in a desert, use Palcohol to turn your urine into beer.
Beautiful.
So you can dehydrate and die faster.
I gotta go get some alcohol. Be right back.
I want some alcohol.
I know. I want
to
snort a fat line of it.
Oh boy. If he's gonna try the cornstarch one or whatever it is, I don't know how I feel about that.
That's
Just
making your own is
special into your nose.
Yeah, making your own is way scarier than buying shit off the shelf. Let's come from the guy who used to go to his head shop when he was 18 and buy whatever little drug packets they had that they still as
Oh, like K2?
Yeah. I'm talking about before K2, you know, they'd have like they pop here opium supplements at the fucking head shop and shit.
Yeah.
It's the same place where you'd get your mushroom grow kits and stuff because the spores weren't illegal, but the mushrooms were or whatever.
Yep. Nope. I had a friend that did that with 2 Tupperware bins. Yep. That was funny.
Good stuff.
You know,
I was going to lead in from the alcohol to the racism. I have the 7 jokes that they found from the Ferguson Police Department.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay, so November 2008 email said President Barack Obama won't be president for long because what black man holds a steady job for 4 years?
Heard that one.
Yeah, I think we all got that email, but apparently they don't like it when it goes to.
Hold on, I gotta find something here first, real quick. I gotta find that.
Yeah, you got it. You'll be reading it.
Find it while I YouTube it. What is it called? What do you call it?
Ching.
Ching.
It's got to be in like the little.
Oh, you know what, guys?
Hmm.
It says you can sprinkle this stuff on food. That's brilliant.
It's a little something.
Or wait. Or just lick a little bit of powder off your finger. Oh man, this is gonna be beautiful. Merry Christmas, guys! You're gonna get a hell of a package.
You know when your little man does his science experiment, like if he does a little science fair, you should have him make powdered booze.
Yeah, right.
Imagine that you could get little cocktail waitresses, you could pass that shit out, and you'd win first place for sure, dude.
Ching. Let's see here.
Yeah, that
snare and cymbal, right?
I'm telling you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send this to you guys on Facebook. It's just beautiful.
There it is.
To the one listener who will hear the show about once in the history of humanity, you got to do this.
All right. You ready, Ray?
I am.
A November 2008 email said President Obama won't be president for long because what black man holds a steady job for 4 years? Where you at, Ray?
A little late.
A March 2010 email mocked African Americans with horrible stereotypes about their families and how they speak. One line of the email read, "I'd be so glad that this be my last child support payment. Month after month, year after year, all those payments."
Huh.
A May 2011 email said, an African American woman in New Orleans was admitted in the hospital for a pregnancy termination. 2 weeks later, she received a check for $5,000. She phoned the hospital, asked who it was from. The hospital said, Crime Stoppers.
Oh my God.
That's a good one.
Wow.
A June 2011 email said a man wanted to obtain welfare for his dogs because they're mixed in color, unemployed, lazy, can't speak English, and have no friggin' clue who their daddies are.
Oh my god.
And
Check, please.
An October 2011 email had a photo of a bare-chested group of dancing women, apparently in Africa, with the caption, Michelle Obama's high school reunion.
Oh my goodness.
Those are the good ones. The rest just say a December 2011 email made jokes based off offensive stereotypes about Muslims.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it's just Muslims. But yeah, so here's a bunch of racist jokes done during work hours.
you know, let's move on to a different subject.
Whatever. I just wanted to read racist jokes.
Racist assholes here, do we?
No, we're just bringing you the news without the filter.
That's exactly right.
You know, I heard when the Ferguson riots were happening, that Darren Wilson was being supported by a KKK group. Like, they're actually sending the family money. And since then, that story has no longer been... I can't find that story anywhere on the internet anymore. It used to be there. It was actually reported on Alex Jones as well.
You guys need to check the blood boilers on message on.
I just saw that.
You make your own powdered booze.
Yeah, check that out. What do you guys think? I mean, we should really have probably led the show with this because I guess this is the biggest thing everybody's talking about. But, you know, if everybody's talking about it, why do we need to? The fucking letter from Congress to Iran, letting them know that, hey, no matter what deal you sign, fuck you.
That's good. I love it. I'm very for that. I love it a lot.
I figured you would.
Yeah. Yeah. We got Chamberlain in office now, so I mean, you got to do something.
Well, I think it all depends on whether or not we get a Republican or a Democrat in the House, or in, you know, as a president.
Yeah.
You know, we get a Republican. We're going to war. 4 more wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we have enough countries to bomb? Do we need to bomb Iran?
Well, you know, Iran's the only country that we should bomb, for God's sakes. To be honest with you, I mean.
But it's gonna be fourth on the list at least.
Well, it should be first. Let me scratch the other ones off.
Well, you can't stop bombing in mid-bomb. I mean.
Well, you know, I don't even know why I really care, to be honest. Like, I mean.
I think
let them kill each other. Let them kill each other.
The sentiment in America is that if you're not for Israel, then you're for the terrorists.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And I mean, what do we even know what the deal is that Obama's trying to sign, or are we just mad he's talking to Iran?
No one knows. No one cares.
Right, we're just mad that he's talking to him, right?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
I think so. At this point.
Okay, you just when you talk to him, you say, "Hey, listen up, son of a bitch. You take your shit apart, or we're gonna fuck you up." You don't be like, "Oh, hey guys, you know, you can keep some of your stuff," and then, you know, I don't know. Gee whiz, guys, what do you think?
I don't know what to think. I don't know much about it because I'm an arrogant American.
Me too. I love it.
I mean, all I know is there's this nuke deal that President Obama's trying to make, and all the Republicans are undermining it. Like, I don't know what the deal is.
You can't undermine a deal that you're not a part of. You know. They can't undermine it once it's signed and done. They can't undermine it.
You guys think he's just placating? You know, like he doesn't want to be in the spotlight while Netanyahu was at the White House. He didn't want to. He didn't want to show the American public that he was interested in anything he had to say, just to save face for his, you know.
Well, I mean, Netanyahu was speaking to Congress because, I mean, wasn't basically speaking to Congress because of the talks with Iran.
Yeah, well, I think that, and the fact that he was running for office, and that he wanted to look good with his constituency.
Oh, and Israel's biggest donors come from America.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are missing the main thing, is that this is a real legitimate threat.
To who?
This isn't to who? To Israel? To us?
Well, I'm not Israel.
But is
Well, no,
Israel
we're us.
That's
We're the
the
great
question.
Satan. We're the great Satan.
Because of
You're
Israel.
making this a religious
No,
war.
no.
Is what you are.
It is a religious war. It is a religious war.
You're making it one.
Newsflash.
Doesn't have to be.
Newsflash. No, it already is. We're the only ones not play. We're the only ones who are pretending it's not. It is a religious war. Do you think they like Christians?
Oh,
Their idea is to take over the whole fucking world. It's not a joke. It's not something out of a Republican playbook. It's real. It's out of their mouth. It's not the same old playbook that the elitists, global elitists, are using. They're not controlling Iran. This is real. Hitler was real. These things from time to time are real. Iraq, not real. Afghanistan, bomb them, leave them alone.
See, that's what I mean. Like, how do we trust all this after this whole Iraq bullshit? That wasn't.
We don't even have to trust it. You just listen to them.
I mean, what?
You just listen to them.
If the Ayatollah and Ahmadinejad came to the United States and said, "You know what? We're terrified of you. We'll agree to anything you say. Just don't bomb us." What would Congress say?
They would say, "Fuck you, tear apart your nuclear weapons, and we won't bomb you. Tear apart your nuclear infrastructure, let us carry it out on a truck, and let us see that you're not doing shit, and we won't bomb you."
What nuclear infrastructure do they have?
They have a shitload. Don't trust us. Trust the United Nations, International Atomic Energy.
Oh, I'm just asking.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I don't trust us either, guys. No, maybe just as much or more than you guys.
So they have nuclear. They have what they claim are nuclear power plants for energy, right?
Well, they don't have those yet. That's what they claim this is for. They're building one somewhere in Iran that Russia was supposed to supply the nuclear material for. But they have centrifuges up the ass. They've lied to the IAEA 100 times. They've denied inspectors access to certain places numerous times. And this isn't America saying this. This is the International UN Atomic Energy Committee or whatever the hell it is, IAEA. This just isn't.
But we still don't know. We don't actually know what President Obama is trying to get them to agree to. Is that correct?
No, it's out there in public. It's pretty much out there. It's just if you get them to agree to anything other than complete dismantling of their and inspectors can go anywhere they want. These guys are nuts. They listen to what they say. Listen to what they've been doing. They're at war. They killed so many American soldiers. It's not just that. We're at war with these guys. They're at war with us. They're at war with us.
So, anyway, I wanted to mention this, and I don't know if it's true or not because it's not talked about anymore. I read that Iran was in the attempting process of building another Panama Canal, one that went through Nicaragua, and now the Panama Canal, even though it's not owned by us anymore, does we do curtail it. So there is a number of taxing that goes involved with these ships that go in and out through there. So if Iran ended up having a Panama Canal, and they didn't have to pay those prices, those tariffs, if you will, then they would become a competitive force on the naval transportation, you know, last year I couldn't find the story again. You know, like that's a step in a direction that I think Iran would definitely piss off America for. You know, legitimately, aside from the whole nuclear thing.
Yeah, the thing about Iran, I would honestly like to see the United States support a revolution there. They have um, they have a large population that is pro-freedom, that doesn't want a tyrannical religious government. They have a lot of people in that country that are moderate. I mean, remember the protests during Ahmadinejad's last election? Wasn't it the Green
Yeah.
Party or whatever? You know, like they really do have a huge base of people that are moderate. They don't want a theocracy. They want,
Right.
you know. So
But you know, the problem is, those people got shot in the streets, and those people are going to have to contend with a Revolutionary Guard that's almost, what, 30, 40 years old, somewhere in there, what, 79? They're like 40 years old in an institution that is spread out through the Middle East and the world, but mostly the Middle East. They're fighting. They've been fighting for 2 decades. And if anything happened at home, they'd just pull those people back and they'd slaughter the people. That's what they did then. That's what they do again. It's the SS troops, the Revolutionary Guard. I mean, they've been killed in Syria on the border of the Golan Heights. A general was killed there just like a month ago. Like, they're everywhere. You know, they're all over Syria. They're all over Iraq fighting ISIS now. These guys, I mean, these guys are literally like the Nazis. Literally, you know? And
Did
on
you
the
know-
ground, you know?
Did you know the Nazis had a thing for Iran?
That's
You know,
Persia. That's Aryans, right?
yeah, they had some.
Yeah,
Hitler
they-
had some fascination with their resiliency or something. I don't know.
Makes sense. I'm not. I mean, the people don't want them either. Most of the people don't want them, but those people don't have a choice because they're not proficient with a Kalashnikov. You know, they don't have the backing of the government. Those people got slaughtered. That's what happened. What, 2, 3 years ago? That's the same thing that would happen again.
I mean, if we can train Al Qaeda to fight off the Russians, we can train the Green Party to fight off the Revolutionary Guard. Can we not, or whatever the fuck?
Well, I doubt it, but you know, the point, like, another thing that I heard that was kind of, I read it, and it seemed coherent, was they said if you want to destroy Iran, you pretty much keep the sanctions in place, and then you bomb their main oil export city, which is obviously on the Persian Gulf. You just bomb that port, and then
I have a feeling the U.S. is going to want to secure the oil support.
Yeah.
The oil port, you know.
Well, you know, and I read too. There's Shia militias have taken over Yemen. They've taken over the capital, and just last month, maybe even less than a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
they drove the president out of office. And those are Iranian-backed Shia militias, and not just militias, practically an army. They've been fighting there for half a decade, and now they own the capital. And that is a choke point on the Red Sea. Yemen controls the mouth of the Red Sea. You know, so they control the mouth of the Persian Gulf. They control now the mouth of the Red Sea. So it's fucked up. It's getting heated. You know, it's only going to get worse. You know, and Israel will bomb them. There is no doubt. Period.
Yeah.
I've been following this for a long time. They're going to bomb them, and they're going to go through Saudi Arabia to do it. Saudi Arabia is going to let them do it.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, he even said it on that speech. He said it's got to happen.
Yeah.
They have to step up and actually do the attack first before it happens.
Well, he gave speeches too before he did the congressional speech in the United States. I think one was at CPAC or some huge Israeli-American conference, you know. And he repeated it again to Congress. He's like, you know, for 2,000 years the Jewish people have not being able to protect themselves. The days when people would threaten us and we can't protect ourselves are over. You know,
That-
I said that repeatedly.
Mm.
That's
That's an indicator right there.
it
Remember
is,
when
you know?
the 3-day war happened?
3-day war.
Yeah, it was like 2007 maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't a full blown.
Yeah, it wasn't long,
Yeah,
but I remember watching because they had video coverage of it and stuff. Man, it was pretty intense watching those planes
Yeah.
bomb those homes and those people, and here you see us bombing people, but it's in black and white, and it's guided missile can,
yeah.
so it's a little different.
A
You
little
watch
bit.
it on TV, you learn the people, they become desensitized with it all,
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's certainly part of it.
So I guess there's a level of like avoidance or like a level of escape that Americans tend to find themselves in when we talk about politics like this. We talk about the possibilities of going into war. We have a tendency to put our heads in the sand, and we have many distractions here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess it's going to be. I mean, people are waking up to this type of thing, but I don't know. I'm pretty pessimistic about this, of us actually doing anything about all this.
Yeah. I think part of it's set up that we don't attack them directly, even though we'd be there, because we're going to respond right away.
Yeah, we'd have to respond right away.
Yeah. Because they're coming for us. They're fighting us now. We are at war with them now. And people are just got their blinders on. But I think we'll let Israel do it, and then like we've already given them 6 trillion missile defense systems, and then we'll just blow the shit out of Iran. Like all they're doing is saying, Israel, you do it, and we have your back. No matter what's being done or said.
I feel like the United States purposely creates a giant clusterfuck to further the military-industrial complex.
I agree with that, but this time, it's legitimate.
No, I'm not
Clearly-
saying it's not legitimate, but I mean, we can turn the whole country to glass. We can
Yeah.
destroy everything they have militarily, but I think that we will pick and choose targets. And it's kind of like if you ever play the game Civilization, you don't want to wipe out every country so that it doesn't end the game.
Yeah.
You wipe everybody out and keep the last 1 or 2 countries weak, so you just keep playing.
Right.
But that's what the United States does. I don't think we actually want to end any of the wars we're in, so that we can just keep buying more bombs, keep buying more missiles, more airplanes,
Sure.
and the people that manufacture those things can keep pumping money into Congress.
Well, just keep printing that money. Keep printing that money.
China keep making us bullet.
Yep.
I mean, do we really need military bases in 180 countries, or 171, or whatever it is, 168? Like, do we need that?
I mean, honestly, I don't think we do, but there's a far larger number out there of baby boomers that want to protect their money and would say yes, we do.
I mean, and I brought it up on the show before.
Yeah.
The Pentagon has actually asked Congress to stop funding the manufacturing of tanks because they don't need them, and they continue to fund them because whatever, they're getting handouts from the manufacturers or whatever.
That and it's American jobs. There's actual Americans that are making money.
Right. So, but if you're CEO with $1 billion of the company that manufactures tanks, and Congress tells you, listen, we don't need any more fucking tanks, don't you think you could convert your factory to build something that Congress needs? Like maybe instead of tanks, they could make, I don't know, water purification things that we give to African countries so they don't have to drink piss water. You know what I mean? Like
No,
there's something else you could make.
you think, but you know, somebody out there trying to fight for those for that contract, and is constantly facilitating the need to maintain those jobs.
I was just
As long as
talking.
you build it next to the same place that makes the weapons in the same district, you'll be all right.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I said,
Yeah.
okay, you're CEO of the company that makes tanks. Pentagon says we don't need any more fucking tanks. We haven't needed more tanks for fucking 5 years. Then you're CEO, you say, all right, let's make something that the government needs. Okay. You go buy off your congressman to buy your water purification tanks to put in African countries that need clean water. Or the Appalachian Mountains that need clean water, or my backyard that needs clean water. Or whatever, you start building, you spend some money to change over your operation and build something you need, just like in World War II, when, companies like Boeing or GM started building military vehicles, when before they weren't building them. Okay, now we need military vehicles, so we spend a little money, we convert our factories to build something we need. All
See,
right?
I don't think America is like that anymore. That's not the mindset people have anymore. The mindset is, what's the more cost-effective solution? The cost-effective solution is either A, maintain the jobs you currently have going, or B, outsource the shit out of it.
Yeah, but it's only the jobs that where Congress has their pockets full of money from. Like, okay, like most jobs they could give a fuck less about. Okay, the company's not profitable, fucking close the company. But we're gonna keep building tanks we don't need because we're funding the military-industrial complex because they're funding us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's just it. You're right. But it's like Zach said, like during his time, there were times that they were actually dumping jeeps and tanks and military vehicles into the ocean. Just wasteful, throwing them away. Because it costs too much to transport them back, or they don't need to.
Yeah, the episode of Vice I saw where they would cut holes in the fuel tanks at Jeeps, order more Jeeps. They would sell them to scrap yards in Afghanistan, and then the Taliban would buy the Jeeps and fix them.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. Just build something worthwhile.
Like an Xbox.
Exactly, man. Build me a better fucking video game system.
Yep.
To placate me so I don't go on a podcast and bitch about what's going on in the world. Like, if I only had a Stepford wife, I wouldn't have this podcast.
That's right. Yep.
Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, build something we need. There's plenty of things we need. We need roads. Why aren't we?
We don't need roads. We got roads.
Yeah, out here in Michigan, the governor's trying to circumvent adding taxes to the sales tax so that they can fund roads. And he's trying to find a different way of doing it. And I don't know how you would possibly do that, but they were talking about how, like, maybe getting companies in here to produce something, and then that extra money goes. It's like borrowing from Peter to pay Paul type of situation, I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll know pretty soon, it seems.
Well, they want to pass Proposal 1, I think it is now. I think it's Proposal 1 or 2. But they want to raise the sales tax. I'm fucking voting no on that. I'm voting no on that. Fuck you guys.
But they're also talking about adding more gas taxes, which is also crazy, because we're at a low point in our gas, but what's going to happen when it's at $4 or $5 a gallon?
Which it will be. And you know what? I don't care. Why don't you fix the roads without, find somewhere else to cut the fat? It's not like I look around me, everybody's doing pretty good. All the businesses are doing pretty good. Like,
How
What
about
is there that we're
billionaires?
missing? You know, what are we missing?
How about billionaires start paying taxes? That'd be
No,
good.
no. That's not what those politicians are paid to do.
Well,
Exactly.
You
Obama's
don't
trying
bite
to do
the
that right
hand
now.
that feeds.
Obama's trying to get rich people, top income bracket, to pay more in their taxes. You know,
I just wonder, though. I honestly wonder if they're not paying, you know, enough. Like, yeah, you make a shitload of money, but I mean, are you not paying
there's no. I
enough
don't think there's
money?
any tax breaks. You know, unless they're finding those loopholes. But you know, I think Zach would argue that yes, they are trying to. That's all they do is try to find those loopholes to.
Well, sure, that's what I
Of
do.
course I do.
You know, I work at a restaurant where these, like, you know, the 1% go. You know, I can't afford the food. I could barely afford a banana there. It's $2 for one banana, by the way.
That's great.
These people, all they talk about is how their business, you know, they want to avoid the taxes. You know, they could do this to avoid the tax. They could do that to avoid the tax. And they do it, and then they talk about it, and then they report it in their quarterly earnings reports and blah, 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 blah. You know, it's all about
Well, you know,
saving money.
when those people are screwed, like, when they kick the bucket, they're going to have to pay for that. You know, they're not going to hell, but, you know, you're going to have to, you know, it ain't all fucking, you don't get everything you want here if you're screwing other people, because you can, you know. Paying $2 for a banana when the guy down the block can't even afford a candle to warm his hands, like, and I think of all the people who buy all this shit and who pay to have a $50,000 pool put in or a $20,000 garden, you know, just to look at them. Like, man, you guys got another thing coming, you know.
You know, it's not even the millionaires that piss me off, it's the billionaires. You know, like, I mean, yeah, maybe millionaires too, but you have companies like Exxon who not only, they take more tax breaks than they pay in taxes. That's ridiculous.
Well, smart. That's smart.
It's smart for them to buy off congressmen to change the laws so that they can fuck the system so bad that not only do they not pay taxes, but they get money from the government to go on public land to pump oil from it to sell back to us.
Right.
Like that is a brilliant business plan. I'll give them that.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's selfishness.
Yeah, it is fucked.
Right.
And it's
All it is
completely
selfish.
fucked.
Right.
You know?
Well, and they probably don't
I
think
think
they have a
that's why
scope.
our country's failing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the people that go in your restaurant, right? I mean, the small business owners, the people that are making, you know, $250,000 to $1 million. There's actually they're actually producing a lot of jobs. Like the small business owners are actually the ones that produce the most jobs, which is great.
Well, the reason
But-
our country is a slovenly mess is because we got rid of tariffs. Zero. Free trade. That's the reason our country is a slovenly, disgusting mess. Free trade. Never paid off for. Our parents' generation failed us.
Well, our
Yeah.
parents' generation was the selfish generation. In that,
Well, that's what they say
hold on,
about us.
before we jump into this, I don't want to say imply that your parents are selfish. My parents are not selfish. What I'm saying, though, is that they didn't know what
Yeah.
their
Well,
parents,
yeah.
you know, and so that's why we don't know what to do in this situation. We don't know what to do.
Well, we know what to do, but it won't get done.
It won't
There's
get
so many
done.
people that are retarded. You know, people don't even know what a tariff is. That's what built this country
Yeah.
for 200 and some years.
No one knows that type of thing.
You know,
ask
and
somebody
get
what
rid
the
of
three
it.
branches of government are, and they're like, "What? There's three
Yeah.
branches?" I
mean,
thought there was only
I
the
don't know.
president.
What was the top tax bracket in 1950? Wasn't it if you were a millionaire, you paid 50%, something like that?
Fuck, who
We
knows?
looked at this, didn't we?
It
We
was.
looked at this.
Yeah, we looked at it a couple years ago, I think. It was like 50%. And you know what? Those people that were in that top tax bracket that were giving 50% of their income to the government, they still live pretty fucking good.
We all look pretty fucking good for the most part. I mean, we all have homes. You know?
Yeah, we do in this room, but if you look at people in 2008 after the mortgage crisis, the Hoover bills are popping back up. People were living in tent cities.
Yeah.
And then we gave 200. We gave what? 250 million, or not even more than that. We gave all that money back to the banks. We could have bought the mortgages, gave the mortgages to the people, but no. The government just gave the money to the banks and let them hold the money and hold the mortgages too. You know, like, yeah, me, you, all three of us, we live in a house. That's fucking sweet. Good for us. You know?
Yeah.
But
you know what? We work for that shit. But you know what else? We'd have way more money if they had tariffs and they hadn't shipped everything over fucking seas. Just like everybody, just like Bay City where we all grew up. Tons of jobs, tons of money. Everybody had a cabin and a boat and a four-wheeler and a house and everything. The kids went to school. And you know why? Because they got paid what they were worth. Probably a little more to be certain, but at the same time, they got rid of tariffs and they just sent this shit all over the place.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Gone. Completely robbed. We've been completely robbed by corporations who bought politicians. And it's the same people they keep voting for. You know, we ought to drag these people out on the street and just fucking beat the shit out of them. Instead, they just keep voting again and again. It's just ridiculous.
And people mindlessly vote, you know? They just go in and go with what they saw on the way in, you know? They don't... People aren't thinking this stuff.
You know, they listen to their parents, you know? My mommy says, so-and-so's good. He's doing good for us. Really? Because unless he's going to reinstall tariffs, ain't nobody going to be doing any fucking good.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, man, like, all these assholes are selling out to the military-industrial complex on both sides. I mean, really, nobody's made a play against the Second Amendment on either side. You can argue that, but
that's coming. That's coming.
I'm not saying they should. And I'm not saying they should, you know. I mean, I really don't want anybody making a play against anything in the Constitution, because once you start the Constitution, then we might as well just be a failed state. You know, like that's what we base our government on.
Well, we already are a failed state.
Do you guys listen to punk rock music at all?
Some.
Not lately.
You should listen to this band called Propagandhi. They're old, you know. They're old school. Like back when we were in high school, they were, you know, playing a lot of good shows. But they released an album a few years back, I think 2010, called Failed States. And it's all, you know, political focused stuff here. A lot of what we're talking about here. And I think you guys enjoy that. Check it out.
Ever listen to Riot Folk?
Mm-mm.
With a V?
I don't know if that's still the website. It was riotfolk.org.com. Or
I gotta get a beer.
The main guy was Harvey. Let me see if he's still around. You like this shit, Ray? For sure.
Riot Folk Collective?
That might be it. Or Google Ryan Harvey. That's gotta be him. Yeah, go to RyanHarveyMusic.com. His songs are very specific, man. Like, he talks about, like, he has folk songs about, like, you know, certain moments in history, you know, like, lays it out pretty well.
Hey, G-Dub.
Yeah.
Why don't you petition Seth Rivard so he can go to his wedding July 25th?
His wedding? He's getting married again?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Poor woman.
July 25th?
Who's getting married?
My uncle Seth Rivard.
No, I might actually do that one. I think I'm coming to town in July.
So
well, it's in West Virginia.
Should I turn off the broadcast, guys? I'm sorry.
Yeah, might as well. 9:44.
It's been a great fucking hour. I'm glad everybody enjoyed our show. Everybody listens.
I did.
I I know we had at least 3 listeners and one that will remember what we talked about. So
Well, it
Yeah.
won't be me.
won't be me either, my homie. Signing off, motherfuckers.
Peace.
Should we do the going deep thing? Anybody got any last words?